everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. My name is Lucky. First off, I just want to say thank you guys so much. Over the course of this week, we ended up breaking 4,000 subscribers, and that is amazing. We're already on our way to 5,000, but I wanted to do a giveaway for y'all. So what I have here is a Diablo i3 tuner. This is capable of, giving you any performance tunes with the unlocked PCM. It'll help you to maximize your performance in your vehicle and, really enjoy it. The way that you enter in to win this is every dollar spent at boostedlucky.com gets you an entry in to win. So it'll be a raffle style. I'll be taking the names from all the orders, putting them into I'll put them in a little wheel of fortune, and whoever's number gets picked is who wins. So this is going to run for a whole 2 weeks, and remember, every dollar spent on boostedlucky.com will get you an entry in to win. So like I said, this week has been stupid busy. On Monday I had to go and pick up a new radiator fan. So this is the radiator fan that was in my car. It ended up going out, and I was in the drive-thru of a Whataburger, and all of a sudden my car started slowly overheating. We couldn't figure out what it was, and we didn't know why that was happening. And it turns out that the fan wasn't kicking on. I thought that first that it was the thermostat that was failing, but if the thermostat fails, it'll fail close, and the coolant temps will shoot all the way up. So I went out to Plano, bought a new fan, and I had to disassemble that, fix the oil fill line on the blower, and I was servicing the blower, giving it its oil change and everything, and looking it over. And as I was putting the lid back on, the little oil checker valve had broke. And so now I have to source another one of those. And then when I was putting everything back together, I ended up putting my radiator coolant hose a little too close to where the belt assembly was. It ended up rubbing through, and coolant started shooting everywhere. So once I got all the cooling situation fixed and sorted out, and that was my fault on the coolant hose, I was rushing. I wanted to get out to Yellow Belly, but they ended up closing that night because it was very muddy. So ended up just getting the car fixed and didn't have any other issues once I knew that was taken care of. So we went ahead and installed the ProFlex commander on the car. And you guys can use my code LuckyJr10 to save 10% off your orders on whatever it is that you buy on that website. Save you guys some money because it is some pricey stuff, but it's well worth it in my opinion. Got the radiator fan fixed, and then I went out to Anna, Texas, to LG Motorsports. They deal with a lot of Chevy and Cadillac stuff. And when I was there, I was running on empty on the fuel tank because I thought that they had some E85 near them at a station. But boy, I was wrong, and thank God for the flex fuel because I was able to fill up on 93. And when I was filling up on 93, all of a sudden, guess who pulls up? AudioCat. And whenever AudioCat pulled up, he thought that my car was a Hellcat. I explained to him that it wasn't, that it was a Ripp Supercharged V6. And that I just like the body style and the upper trim cars, so I went ahead and put that on. And he was really digging the build. He wanted to film it, and then he also asked me if I wanted to run their stock Hellcat, which that video will be coming out very soon. I wanted to give y'all a quick rundown on what's been going on this week. I know I haven't been able to upload a ton, so I've just been trying to throw a little film out here and there, but I really do appreciate all you guys sticking around and supporting the channel and supporting the build. And like I said, I want to treat everybody, so we're doing the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. And like I said, every dollar spent on boostedlucky.com will get you a entry in to win the Diablo i3 tuner. So now we get to focus on the fun stuff. So this is the control unit. This is the flex fuel sensor that tees into the line. Got my hose here. Got my piggyback. Got my harness. Got my wiring harness for the injectors. And these are some stickers. No instructions. Hopefully those are online. Okay, so what I'm doing now that the intake plenum has been removed, I'm taking all of the injectors out of their clips, unclipping them from each injector, and then I'm going to disconnect this fuel line right back here and install the supply fuel lines. Nope, it came out. Okay guys, so this fuel line has to be disconnected, and this fuel line back here, and this fuel line right here, the silver, that needs to be disconnected, but you have to use a special tool. I'm about to go grab that. So okay, so I went and I picked up these disconnect tools. So this is what's going to help me get that rear fuel line off. Oh, there it goes. Disconnected. Jeez, man, that was a fight. So I got it disconnected. It is not as easy as they try to make it seem on the videos and any of that, but that's the line. It's out. Thank God. So what happens is this tool right here comes in, pushes into these clips, and it has these little prongs in there that make sure that it stays sealed, and then it has a yellow O-ring off inside of it so that it seals. So yeah, this side is small, the bottom one is smaller than the top one, and there's certain ways that they go on. So this one goes onto the actual fuel lines that are already on the car, and the thicker side is what's going to go inside of the sensor. That clips onto there, so that side is done. This clips into this side like that. This one clips into there like that. See, now they're all secure.
Perfect.
Guess it goes to the back like so, and this clips onto there like that. See? So runs from back there up, so runs from back here, so it clips onto there, runs all the way up to the back, comes out through there. There's your white sensor right there, and then it runs straight into there. So whichever side is the longest is going to go on to the driver's side. This side goes on to the driver's side, and the other side goes on to that side. Take my clip here, plug it in, clip, boom. Wherever the original harness was. See, these don't have those red clips on them though, so be mindful of that. And it clips in just like that. It's off. Take my little harness deal here. Right, cool. So now that is secure on there. I'm gonna reinstall all my stuff like how I was before with the intake plenum, and then fire it up and make sure that it's all good. Once I know that it's all good and I don't have any leaks anywhere, I'll go ahead and install the actual unit. Okay, so everything has been reconnected. You don't see the harness underneath here because this is closing it up, but you see the little harness, one of the little connectors right here. I did notice this was before I had like boosted the car or anything, but I have a cracked valve cover. I have another one coming in, so I'll end up taking this all off again and replacing this valve cover. I think that might be why I've been low on boost as well. But as you can see, if you can see right here, there's a lot of like oil residue and stuff, and that's from and that's because it's all shooting out from like right in here somewhere on this oil fill cap. But besides that, Gonna go ahead and start the car and make sure that there isn't any leaks anywhere. So I ended up putting the module behind the PCM right through there. I pulled the harness through and it's connected to the back side of that. Take my ground, run it all the way back down and place it back in there. And tuck all this away so it'll be real inconspicuous. And looking at it, you don't see nothing. You can see the little sensor in the back there, but you can kind of see the little sensor in the back there, but can't see nothing. I routed the ground the same way I did for my AFR gauge, and then the box is tucked behind here. So still looking real clean. So I'm going to start it up and check it out, download the app. So this is what the app looks like. You have to have your car started, I guess, for it to start reading it and turn it on. But yeah, it's doing its job. So we're gonna go fill up on some E85 and see if there's any differences or anything like that. That's so cool. All right then, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, let's see what it does. Yeah, this thing boogies. This thing boogies, y'all, for V6. This is an important tool that you'd want to have so you don't have to struggle whenever you're trying to take off the fuel hat. So you can pick that up from Summit Racing or you can buy it off of Amazon. I just went up there to Summit because Amazon was talking about Sunday to deliver it. To remove your back seats, you just pull up. So you do that on both sides. And the back seat slides right on out. So now what we'll have here is we'll have the fuel hat. It'll have all this rubber stuff in front of it. So I'm just gonna pack all that back, sound deadening material. Then this lid right here pops out. Yep, pops right out with the grommet and everything. So like I said, there's a rubber grommet, there's the lid, pops right out. Now here there is a connector. Just gonna disconnect this connector. You just pull back on this tab here and it'll slide right out. Now we got access to just the fuel pump. As you can see, there are some ring grooves right here, and that's where the tool is going to slide into. and you just take a ratchet onto that side. Don't use any impact like how it says on there, and just break it free. Woo, geez. Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to do this with without this tool, because that was a lot of force. So now the ring is off. The pump should, and it does, just pop right out. So as soon as you touch the pump right here at the top part, it'll start to lift, and man, you can smell it. It is strong, and it is green. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this all out, and then explain how that went. And you have two pumps in all your vehicles. You have your sending unit, you have another unit over here that feeds this side of the tank. So there's a line that runs down through here, then there's a line that runs to your fuel line, and then there's, you know, a line that obviously that's needed to suck in fuel for the pump. So the two white lines in the fuel tank are just sending units, so they're not really attached to anything. They're not like a feed line. So all they're doing is they're just directing the flow into the pump itself. So those just pop right out. With this brown line on top, it's a different story. And what you can actually do is disconnect the top hat from the actual pump itself. There's some retaining clips on each side. Just push those both in and they disconnect, and you'll have complete access to the pump itself. Okay, so as I was trying to mention earlier, you got those two white lines. Those just pop out of the hat right there. There's a connector right here that is brown on top of the fuel sending unit. You push the top part of this down, and then you push the green connector in. The tank will be at the pump will be at the bottom of the tank, and then it will slide out of the actual unit, and now it'll also just come right out. Okay, so here we have the whole harness for the system. It's all loomed up and very well packaged. He heat shrinked everything back here for the relay and all of that. He wants you to use the fuse box to connect the power and ground. So that is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pop this open. You're gonna wanna make sure your battery is disconnected. I've already done that. Grab yourself a 10mm socket. Disconnect it right here at the harness. Now what I'll do is I'll grab the battery terminal. I will take my ground and I will connect that to here. I have my harness running right here, plugged into my power, plugged into the ground, runs down through here. That's the harness that's going through there. Gonna put it underneath the carpet right on over here. So now I'm just gonna put this up, and here is my relay and my harness. So we come over to the pump. We notice that we have the power and ground signal wire from the sending unit on the other side of the pump. So I'm gonna cut both of these off and add on the bullet style connectors so that they'll plug into the forehat. Okay, so I got both of my connectors made right here. They're not going anywhere, so that's good. Now looking at my connector here, we got a blue, black, a blue, a black, and another blue. So we got 5 connectors, and we got to go through them all, cut them, and make sure that they're assigned to the right one. So I got to take this off and transfer it onto the forehead. You can't just pull, you can't, like I couldn't at least just grab these pieces right here and lift up. I had to actually take a flathead, go in between each of the, I had to take a flathead, go in between both of these black pieces here and pry up the actual fuel sending unit. So now that I've pried it up, it's still super hard to pull out, but there it is. So these little pieces here, you just gotta pry them to the side, and then they'll end up coming out. But this was the hardest part so far of doing this whole thing, just getting that disconnected. Okay, so looking at the pump, I have my sending unit attached to the side of it. Got the wires running down here. One of the wires is going to the ground. One of the wires is going to the green signal wire. This yellow wire will attach to the sending unit in the car. And this other black connector right here will attach to that ground. And now that the pump is done, I'm going to go ahead and separate the hat from the actual bottom piece right here with the screws. And then attach my fuel lines right here, dump it into the tank, and I should be good to go. I'm gonna take all the accessories out of here, use these 2 screws to lengthen the hat. So like how on the stock basket there was the springs that allowed you to work on the fuel unit, the fuel sending unit without being constrained by any of the links. These will go off in here, and they'll screw into some of the bolt holes here. Okay, so all of my connections have been made. My power, my ground for the main relay and module. The green, yellow, and black have all been connected to the actual harness on the vehicle. As you can see on my connectors, it was one goes to yellow, so I'll flip it the right way so y'all can see that. Number 1 on your pin harness goes to yellow. Number 2 is the ground, which goes to black, and number 3 goes to the green, which is another signal wire. And then the other 2, the orange with the blue, goes to the power, and the black goes to the ground. And the connections here are reversed, I'm pretty sure, so you can't pop the fuse by just accidentally popping them in the wrong one. But yeah, I went ahead and I drilled out a hole for the harness here to go through, push this back into place. So now I'm about to seal it all back up, key on the car, and see if the fuel pump kicks on and make sure that there's no leaks. Nothing's on the hood. The fuel pump stuff is all good. I can put all of that away like how it's supposed to be and go have some fun. Okay, so I got the hat back on. I ended up trimming out a hole on this other side for the lines to run out to. I have my relay chilling underneath back here, so when someone sits in the back seat they don't crush it. And plastic sharp. And besides that, I mean, just covers up, put the back seat back in, and we're done back here. Go fill up the car on some E85. So we made it back home. The belt messed up, and it just said it was gonna leave the building because it is shredded.